When the Malcolm in the Middle reboot was announced, every original cast member came back except one, and it's actually the most beloved character from the whole show. 20 years after the last episode, Malcolm in the Middle reboot is coming out, and fans lost it. We're getting Frankie Muniz back as Malcolm, Bryan Cranston and Jane Kaczmarek back as Hal and Lois, Christopher Masterson and Justin Burfield returning as Francis and Reese. The whole family is back, or at least that's what it looked like at first glance. But when you actually read through that cast list, one name was gone that nobody expected to be missing. And once people noticed it, that's basically all anyone wanted to talk about. Dewey was nowhere on that list, and the reason why is one of the more fascinating stories to come out of any TV reunion in recent memory. Dewey was supposed to be the afterthought of the family, introduced as the youngest sibling, always getting trampled by whatever chaos was happening around him, while Malcolm dealt with his genius problems, and Reese was out terrorizing the neighborhood. But the writers realized quickly that they had something genuinely special here, because Dewey turned out to be deeply creative and emotionally aware in a way nobody else in the family was. The show started giving him solo storylines, and he delivered every time. Whether he was composing a full opera or running psychological circles around Reese, Dewey had this quiet genius that made him impossible to ignore. By the middle of the series, fans were seriously arguing he was the heart of the whole show, and the real story behind the kid who played him only makes that better. So let's talk about the kid behind Dewey. Eric Pear Sullivan was born on July 12, 1991 in Worcester, Massachusetts. His mom, Anne, was originally from Sweden. His dad, Fred, was Irish-American and owned a Mexican restaurant called the Alamo. From a young age, he was studying piano and saxophone, earned a first-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and visited Sweden with his mother's family almost every year. He got into acting at age 5 as a background extra in Armageddon, then landed a speaking role in The Cider House Rules in 1999, the Academy Award-winning drama with Tobey Maguire. Getting cast in a film like that before you're 10 says something about his ability. Then came the Malcolm audition, and his whole life changed. From January 2000 to May 2006, Eric appeared in every single episode, all 151 of them across 7 full seasons. Never missing a single episode through the entire run is remarkable for a child actor on a long-running sitcom. What made his performance hold up across all those years was that he genuinely grew with the character. Dewey in season 1 is a little kid getting pushed around. Dewey by season 6 is a fully formed creative person with real depth, and Eric tracked that evolution in a way that felt authentic rather than manufactured. Fans felt the difference, and so did the industry. In 2000, he won a Young Star Award for Best Young Ensemble Cast in Television. In 2003, he won a Young Artist Award for Best Ensemble in a TV series alongside the rest of the Malcolm cast. He received 4 total Young Artist Award nominations, 3 Teen Choice Award nominations for Choice TV Sidekick, and in 2007, a James Joyce Award, which is given to individuals who demonstrate outstanding contributions to arts and culture. That last one is worth noting because it has nothing to do with the entertainment industry. It's an academic and cultural recognition. And the fact that Eric was receiving that kind of acknowledgement as a teenager tells you something real about who he was becoming. Something was genuinely building under the surface the entire time. Malcolm in the Middle wrapped its final episode in May 2006. Most of the cast moved on to other work. Bryan Cranston went on to have one of the greatest career second acts in television history with Breaking Bad. But Eric stepped back and mostly stopped appearing in anything new. Most people assumed he was just taking a break. Then the years kept passing and nothing appeared under his name. The Malcolm cast did various reunion events over the years, and Eric was consistently absent from all of them. No social media presence, no interviews, nothing. For a kid who appeared on one of the most watched sitcoms on network television, that level of disappearance is pretty unusual, and it gets more interesting from there. After the show ended, Eric made one more appearance on screen. In 2010, at age 18, he took a small supporting role in a film called 12, a drama about wealthy Manhattan teenagers dealing with drug addiction, where he played a minor character named Timmy. And then that was it. That was the last time Eric Pear Sullivan appeared in anything at all. He was a legal adult at that point, fully capable of building whatever career he wanted in Hollywood, and he chose to walk away from the whole thing entirely. He just stopped, and nobody really knew why until the reboot Reboot came along and forced the question. The answer came in pieces through what his former cast members have mentioned over the years. Jane Kaczmarek said in 2025 that Eric was studying Victorian literature at an American university and had no interest in returning to entertainment. He apparently loves Charles Dickens, which feels poetically on brand for someone who always gravitated toward the artistic and intellectual side of things. Then Bryan Cranston confirmed that Eric was pursuing his master's degree at Harvard University. The kid who played the sweet, weird little brother on a Fox sitcom grew up, got into Harvard, and is writing graduate papers on Victorian literature, while the rest of us are watching his old episodes on streaming. When the reboot got greenlit, Bryan Cranston personally called Eric to bring him back. He told him the show was coming back and said they were looking forward to having him return. And Eric's response was warm, but completely firm. He was happy for them, genuinely glad the show was coming back, but he had no interest in participating. Frankie Muniz said the same thing in his own interviews, saying that Eric is genuinely happy with the life he's built outside the entertainment industry, and that the entire cast fully respects that. They chose to recast the role rather than write Dewey out of the story entirely, and that's how we get to where we are now. Caleb Ellsworth Clark is a Canadian actor from Calgary who grew up in a neighborhood called Bowness, where a teacher first sparked his interest in performing through improv classes connected to Calgary's Loose Moose Theatre. He studied theater at Mount Royal University and has been building screen credits since then, with appearances in Fargo, Nightmare Alley, and The Silencing, mostly in smaller supporting roles. What pushed him to the top of the list for this casting is a combination of genuine range as a performer and a strong physical resemblance to Eric Sullivan. Close enough that fans who've seen photos from the set say the recasting feels more natural than expected. He's a real fan of the original show. This is the biggest opportunity of his career, and everything about his background suggests he's been working toward exactly this kind of moment. And I'm genuinely so excited to see how this plays out. It looks very promising, and whoever worked behind this reboot knew what they were doing. Dewey was always the sibling who did things completely on his own terms, so it feels almost poetic that the person who played him turned out to be exactly the same. You can check out my previous video where I went over moments that show us how Dewey was the actual genius of the family, and if you want more Malcolm in the Middle content, subscribe because there's a lot more coming very soon. See you guys in the next one.